for our writing assignment today, kindergartners, you're not really going to be writing. I just want to talk to you about a new idea. We are going to be starting to write about things that have happened to us. So stories, real stories about things that have actually happened to us, not just made up stories. Okay, and I want us to think about whole pies and slices of pies. Now that's kind of funny, isn't it? But that's what we're going to be thinking about. So I want you to remember back a while ago when we went on the field trip to the Star Echo Station. That was the one where we got to see all of the animals, and we even got to touch quite a few of the animals. So if I was going to write about this story about going on the field trip, I might talk about how we rode on the bus and it was a long ride, and as soon as we got there we ate a snack, and then we went inside and we sat in a room and we saw some animals, and then we got to go on a tour and see some more animals, and then we left on the bus, and then we went to the park. But that's kind of like that's the whole pie story. That's the whole thing. I want to focus on a slice of the pie. So if I was going to focus on a slice of the pie, I could talk about just the bus ride. I could talk about going to the park. There's a lot of things I could talk about, and I could talk about just part of it. So I'm going to think, and probably some of the most exciting things we did on that trip was seeing the animals and being able to touch them. So maybe what I would talk about would be just one of the animals, not all the animals we saw. We saw quite a few. We saw the turtle, and I think we saw some sort of a lizard or an iguana, but we saw the snake. And if you remember, the snake was really long. So in my story, I might start by saying that we went on a field trip to the Echo Star Station, and on the field trip we sat in a room, and in the room we got to see a lot of animals, and the animal that I really remember the best was the snake. And we were able to touch it, and I learned a lot of new things about the snake. I learned about its scales and what the tongue was for, and how big it was, and what kind of snake it was, and we touched it with 2 fingers. Now notice, I'm still telling a long story, but I'm only telling part of the story. I'm not telling this whole big story, and I'm able to include details. So tomorrow we're going to start writing a story, and we're going to be using our folders tomorrow. So start thinking about, when you're telling a story, maybe we don't want the whole pie story. Maybe we only want a slice of the pie story. Okay? So think about that today, and tomorrow we'll talk some more.